Okay, we made it to our final discussion of the lymphatic system. Allergies. We were talking about how with the hypersensitivity response, if you think about it, when you catch any kind of a cold or any kind of an infection, it's not that you don't have a huge number of organisms that you're dealing with in comparison to pollen. When you have all, in the spring, all of this pollen out there or other kinds of allergens that can produce these hypersensitivity responses, your body doesn't know that this isn't a pathogen. And so you have this response to it. And then what happens is you have these memory cells. I mentioned them before. I said after an infection, some of the B cells and some of the T cells are going to be ready to go in case they see this same pathogen again soon. And so what happens is you have B lymphocytes that are memory cells. They're already waiting, activated, ready to proliferate into plasma cells. And they produce too much of this IgE. And so you have, and in worst case scenarios, so think about it, if you're producing all of this fluid in your lungs and in your respiratory tract, you can die from it. And in the worst case scenario, with the high type 1 allergies, you can have what we call anaphylactic shock, and people die from that. Die from a harmless substance, pollen. The second type 2 allergies, this has to do with blood types. It's only in the case of an incorrect transfusion. If you get the wrong kind of blood, and your body, you've got a pint of blood, that's a huge number of cells, with the wrong surface antigens. What happens is your body has antibodies against this wrong surface antigen, and you produce all of these antigen-antibody complexes, huge amounts of this, and you destroy huge numbers of cells. It results in kidney failure. People die from it. That's why they die. Type 2 allergy. It's a blood transfusional allergy. Okay, another type of allergy that causes is very dangerous, is type 3, food allergies. So if you think about it, when you eat, if you have an allergy to peanuts and you ate 5 ounces of peanut butter, well, you have a huge amount of peanut antigen in your system, and your body goes crazy with this, and you create these huge antigen-antibody complexes that precipitate in the tissues where they are. You can't clear them, and it causes tissue damage because there's so much of the antigen. That's type 3, food allergies. Type 4, so with 1, 2, and 3, we've been talking about antibodies. Type 4, we're not talking about antibodies. We're talking about activated cytotoxic T cells, the other kind of specific immunity. And this results from repeated exposure to the antigen, where you have activated memory T cells, cytotoxic T cells, that then respond to this allergen. Poison ivy, that's what it is. It's overly activated cytotoxic T cells to just an irritant. It's a sap. It doesn't hurt you. And so when you get the sap on your skin, it doesn't bother you. It's after a day later, 24 hours, 48 hours later, you get this whelp on you. What is that? That's from the activated T cells. So, type 1, hypersensitivity. Type 2, wrong blood. Type 3, food allergies. Type 4, cytotoxic T cells. Okay, see you on the other side. This is the end of the lymphatic system discussion.